right. Morning, everyone. Everyone. It's only one of you so far. All right. Morning out there, though. They even have this thing turned on. I do. Getting some lures that I painted yesterday, ready for some clear coat. Got a 2-part epoxy clear coat that I put on them. And then I got to put them on this turning spinning device beside me. All the tape stuck to my fingers. Yeah, so I did up these little brook trout patterns yesterday. Did a couple of poppers as well. I think that's all I got, a clear coat right away. Oh, I got a couple of musky repaints for some dude as well. Gotta clear those at the same time. This is the time of year where everything gets a little bit busy with the bait building. It's just a hobby. I don't do it for anything other than to pass my spare time. Make a couple of bucks, I guess, when I'm passing my spare time, but I will likely never get rich from it. I didn't put any eyeballs on these yesterday, so I better pick something out. I think I'm going to go with like the orange eyes right there. And some super glue to lock them eyeballs on. Happens to be my wife's laundry room. There's probably my underwear in there spinning around, so I guess I can't complain too much. But it's a good way to kill Sunday morning when it's raining. Just get some baits done up. Raining a little bit right now. hopefully it lets up so I can get out and do some fishing myself today. Bugger for getting super glue on my fingers, though. I'll tell you that right now. All right, last eyeball. I got to tear this stuff off. I don't want, if I epoxy it with the tape on the lip, what happens is when I go to tear it off, it'll actually put a rip in the clear coat and cause a spot where the water can get in. And that's not optimal. These are repaints that a guy wants. That's why the bill is kind of a yellowy color. Some guy just gave me probably 15 of them, said I want them all orange and black pattern. You run out of ideas pretty quickly when you have 15 of them and they all got to be orange and black, but you don't want to do them all the same. Oh, an eyeball fell off. That old eyeball was gonna slide around the corner on me. Make sure I have some of my better patterns available for that sale. I will be painting a little more as soon as I get these baits on the turner. I'm trying to come up with some other patterns that I can do. Might do some perch, might do some fire tiger, sunfish. We'll see. The thing about painting is I don't put a whole lot of thought into it. I just kind of whatever strikes my fancy as I'm going. Didn't have a fancy until I started painting. All right, that one there is just about covered all the way around. So that's a little brook trout pattern. You can get the little par marks on it. Like a juvenile brook trout has these little bit of a bar on it saying that I'm just a baby. All right, where am I going to put you? Let's see if this thing will hold it. Ooh, that's going to spin around in circles. It's hard to do this without getting clear coat on your fingers. All right, get that turning now. There's one. Bigger ones. Did a few different sizes yesterday. Did a couple of poppers as well, big frog poppers. And I have to clear coat a couple of those musky repaints for a guy as well. I'm gonna get those eyeballs first. With the epoxy, the biggest mistake I've made is trying to get too thick of a coat on in one shot. So it turns out a lot better if you do thin coats, but more of them. If you try and put it all on one big heap, what happens is it all starts to separate and it comes out clumpy. And then you either have to throw the bait away or end up putting more layers of clear coat on, and then it's just way too thick and it looks a little goofy. So my tackle box is full of goofy looking thick baits full of clear coat. However, I'm not going to do that with this guy. Well, I'm hoping I don't. So these were painted yesterday, so they had all night to off gas. And now they can just sit on this turner for 3 or 4 hours. today, and I will do another coat this afternoon. Looking for spots that I miss because I'm only doing probably 2 coats of this. Oh, I gotta see if I can get something that'll stick here. Oh, there's one right there. That one will do. There. So that's just a barbecue rotisserie. It's just gonna spin and spin and spin. Well, hopefully it continues to spin, doesn't malfunction on me. That's a good way to ruin baits as well. Coffee time. All right, let's get one of these jointed suckers started. Again, get around those eyeballs first. Now, the guy that wanted these painted, he didn't give me any direction except orange and black. Just orange and black, do whatever you want. So I did orange and black, and I got scaly pattern black on the top. This isn't very exciting, I know. I do have to get these turning before I start my painting. And we will get painting in a little bit, though. Try and get my speed up a little bit. That way we can jump right into the painting. It's a little more interesting than the clear coat. The clear coat's a little more interesting on my part because I got to pay pretty close attention and make sure I get everything covered, but not didn't pay close attention when I was taking the tape off that. So the muskie guys up here in Northern Ontario, I have discovered, are absolutely nuts. They want what they want, and it has to be this color, and it has to be this color here, and it has to be this, that, and the other. So I don't know whether it's superstition or what they got, but wow, I just put one cross-eyed. Just about. I think I did go cross-eyed. All right, let's get this sucker done up. Shaky? I got the shakes this morning. The DTs or something. Hope not. Okay, gotta get this thing on the spinner now, see if I got room for it. Oh, perfect spot. I got lucky. That one's got a couple of little bald spots. Okay, this one here, I'm going to get the mouth done first. Try and get these done quickly, but the quicker you go, the sloppier the job. So it's This one here got the big glass eyes in it, which I kind of like. Although you have to make sure you get your clear coat all the way around those glass eyes. That way they don't come unstuck. There's a little bit of super glue behind them, but I don't trust the super glue 100%. But the epoxy, once it's on, it doesn't come off. I had to warm that back up. Ah! This is a dangerous game. Spill it all over the place. I'm probably going to run out of epoxy, so I might be able to get 2 more done. Just need to warm her back up and get her moving again. It hasn't set up. It's just starting to thicken a little bit. It takes forever to actually cure. Probably 4 hours before you can handle it after this. But now these nice big poppers. Some of the bass guys here in the North Bay area love the big poppers because they actually stay perfectly on the surface, and when you chug them, they don't. Your swivel and your leader doesn't pull them down, so you can fish them much slower. Our bass here in Northern Ontario aren't monsters compared to the south. The farther you go north, it seems like the smaller the bass get. So if you get into a 5 or 6 pound bass up here in Northern Ontario, you have got an absolute slobber knocker. Where when you get to the states, like the middle and southern states, they get 7 and 8 pounders, 9, 10 pounders frequently enough that it's not a shock. Probably a shock for the guy catching it, but the world as a whole. Like if you caught a 10 pounder out of Lake Nipissing, you'd be a pretty popular lad. Everybody asking for your tips and pointers and your whatnots. I think this might be one more done out of this little batch of clear coat, and then we'll get back to painting. Because this isn't that interesting. I understand that. Thanks for the like. Appreciate it. I do have a tackle sale this weekend. Next weekend, the next one coming. Oh, perfect timing. Oh, that's stuck. So was that. They're all stuck. Yeah, maybe this thing will hold it. All right, one more little guy, and we'll get. I think that's about all the clear coat I got left. Good enough for this little guy. We have a little brook trout. So that'll be 5 on the turner, anyways. After I sign off, I'll do the other ones because this is, I understand, is not that exciting. We'll get into the painting again. Painting actually is a little more interesting, a little more engaging. You guys can give your opinions and points of view. What are you going to tell me? No, you should be brushing north to south, not east to west. And I think that is that. Ooh. Just go flip the whole shooting match. Move some of these guys over. I got one little guy here I got to touch up. Sometimes you can see the spots you miss when it's turning because the light changes and shifts and all kinds of that stuff. But I did see something up on this guy here. That's what I see right there. Okay. Get rid of that bucket. I'll put these other guys aside. I'll do those later. Now we're gonna, I think we'll start off with some of these. They're like a knockoff Bandit. Get into the paint. Let's do 2 knockoff Bandits, and let's do a big one. Or what else do we got in here? Let's do a couple, maybe a Zara Spook here. And what else? I don't want to do that guy. Meh, not that one. Yeah, we'll do 3 of those. 3 of these Bandit knockoffs and 1 Spook. I had a sneeze coming. I was playing in the dusty stuff this morning. Oh. Okay, I got to prime all these first. But rehydration first. Cold coffee. This is just a surface primer. That we gotta get mixed correctly. So in order to get it to go through the airbrush, we got to thin it. And I had this fuzz ball that was stuck to my finger. So thin it with just water. And then find the paintbrush. I only got 1 paintbrush here that I like for stirring. So this primer, after it's shot on a bait, it actually has a bit of a chalky texture, which I like because it seems to have a little better, I guess, area for the paint to stick to. So when you do paint, it seems to stick really nice to the bait. Make sure all the water's off the needle of the airbrush or you get a big splotchy wet spot. That's chunky. So my base coat is going to be this white primer. Doesn't have to be perfect on your base coat. You just want to kind of get a base coat. I am going to thin that a little bit more because I don't like what's happening here with the chunky stuff. It's getting pretty chunky, not coming out very nice. Okay. That flowed a little bit better. One more. Yeah, I think I'll... Oh, do I have another one there? Nope. I do have another set of helping hands. We'll maybe get into that in a little bit. I gotta look at the big 10-inch jigs and see what I got for bills. I can't find the lips for them, so I know I have them because they come with them. I do have about 7 or 8 made up. I doubt I'll sell them all this week. If I do, it's a great problem to have. Oh, and just a little bit in there. Good enough. So that's the primer. I'll clean the airbrush. And we're going to do our base coat. You make any for stripers, bass, or bluefish? I would love to. I have no idea. I've never fished for stripers. Regular bass, yeah. Up here in Northern Ontario, we don't have stripers or bluefish. So the only time I ever get to see that stuff is when I am watching other people do things on YouTube, which is it's on my list though, is to get down and try and catch some of these critters. What I usually do is there's a couple local bait shops up here in Northern Ontario. What I end up doing is they like every bait shop. It's weird. They love like local made stuff, handmade things. So they really, every bait shop up here in Northern Ontario is like this. They get right behind the person that's doing the work and they push. They get you going as best they can. Very supportive. So yeah, I'm not sure about stripers. There's some big ones though. I've seen plenty of videos of people catching stripers that are absolutely enormous. So we're gonna go with a pearl white on this one, but I want a pearl white belly. So after mixing, you want to make sure your paint is about the same consistency of chocolate and milk. Stripers. How big do stripers get where you are? The pressure's awful loud. Just the belly. The pearl white, you can't really tell anything from your perspective, but it's almost like a color shift. It's really kind of goes between white and purples, and there's pinks and blues that you can kind of pick up in it. It's a really nice color for the belly because when the sun hits it, it kind of, the color palette wiggles all over the place. So unless I'm doing like a flat orange on the bottom, I like to incorporate some pearl white on pretty much all of my baits. I got a knot in the airline there. So where did I put that? Oh, it's back here. This is a pretty big jug of pearl. So as it thins out, every time I add water to it, I dump it back in there. So over time, this is going to thicken. So adding the water kind of helps lessen the severity of that. Okay, perch. Oh, need that. We're going to go with a little bit of gold down the belly for the perch. This here was a little thick yesterday when I used it, so I'm going to... This stuff's supposed to be just ready to shoot, but I find it's just a touch too thick. I better get in there with a not so clean rag. Sober Strong 2022. Coffee. You know you're getting old when you got aches and pains and brain fog and stuff. I went and bought some lion's mane mushroom juice that you put in there. It's supposed to make your brain work. I need all the help I can get. So we're gonna go right down the side of the belly with the gold. So I want to make sure to get the bottom half for sure. It's not coming out very good. We're going to get a little bit of water in there and see what I can free up. Not supposed to mix your paint in the cup, but when it's already in there, I guess you get a get out of jail free card. That's a little better. Starting to flow a little more. As it goes, it'll open up a little bit more. That's all I want for the gold is just that little bit down the side. I'll put that right there. The gold is actually one of the trickier colors to find that'll actually spray. I have one good type of gold, but I don't like using it. It's weird. Spray's great, but you have to put a varnish over top of it, and it's an extra something's in the airbrush. When you hear it go, means I got a chunk somewhere. The paint's still coming out, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. I will get it out of there when I clean out the gold. And now was the time for that. Pull that back. There, get that big chunk of snot out of there, or whatever it was. Doubt it was snot, but you never know, I guess. Now I want a little bit of neon green. I better dry the gold first. It's not drying very good. Get a little heat to set that gold right in place. No, it could run and wiggle all over the place. BG Customs said hi. Hi, BG Customs. Thanks for showing up. Stumbling into this mess. I'm gonna speak about mess. I do have quite a mess here. Gonna have to make some room. Just push all this stuff this direction. All right, perfect. Now, I do shoot some inks. They're a little trickier to shoot because they start moving pretty quick. So what I should do is get the old mama's old hair dryer, get that ready to go. Get a little bit of neon green in there. holster for that. We'll start with the popper because it doesn't really matter how the top of that looks. Now, I got the neon on that because it'll move in this line. That's what happens if you don't get the heat to it right away. That's going to be good because it's underneath the black, but it's what I'm trying to avoid at all costs. You'd think because the alcohol paints are alcohol based, they'd evaporate and dry quick, but they don't. They wiggle around, move, and all kinds of stuff that you don't want them to do. But they're nice. They're almost the same as a transparent paint that you get from a higher end. I didn't clean that thing out very good yesterday. That's supposed to be kind of see-through-ish. Only thing you can do there is add more paint. I'll go with the same color-ish. So this is an awesome color of green. Probably my favorite color of green. I've had all kinds, but this actual folk art matte grass green is my absolute favorite green. Hey, we're getting a few people show up. Hey, whereabouts are you guys from? Who's farthest from North Bay, Ontario? Farthest I've had is either Thailand or Cambodia. I don't know which one's farther from me, but those guys are pretty far away. Yesterday, the farthest was Virginia, I think. Or, yeah, Virginia, or maybe Montreal. Montreal's 6 hours from here. Pretty close, I guess. Be similar distances anyhow. Now, I got the green, but I don't really like how light it is right now. So we'll put a drip of black in there just to give it some bit of cultural diversity. Get a little black spots in there. There we go. That's a little better. Ooh, it's a lot darker. That's okay. I find it always comes out a little lighter out of the brush. I am going to thin that a little bit more though, because it does come out chunky for some reason. That's a little better. The rain's kind of letting up. There might be an opportunity for this guy to go fishing this afternoon if it keeps doing what it's doing. It's getting nice out. It's rained all weekend, right from Friday. It rained. Saturday, rain. This morning, rain. So with the darker green, I want to make sure I hit the back. I did put a few light bar green stripes. It's hard to see on camera, but they are there. So I should probably put this thing on the end so I can turn the paint down a little bit. Get some stripes on that sucker. And darken the head up a little bit. perch stripes. Don't need a lot, just enough to make sure the stripes are there. Most actual natural perch have 4 or 5 stripes. I only put 3 or 4 because it's a good question. Because there, that's about all of the moss or grass green I'm going to put on them. You guys look at that while I clean the airbrush. I have a chunk in this one. Get my chunks out. Pull the needle back. Hopefully that got the chunks out of it. I think it did. Now, for my next trick, we're going to be trying to get some black down along these stripes and along the back, as well as around the eyes. So what I got to do is, I'll start with the popper because I did before and I don't really care how it turns out because I might keep it for myself. Now these are an airbrush paint, super duper cheap. Fans, a Riche. They shoot all right, but not crazy consistent color to color. Some are perfect, some are all over the place. Just turning down the width of the stream. That's not bad. Got some issues. Don't know what it's doing on me. It's doing something though. Pull the needle back and forward. This thing back on. There we go. Paint's flowing again. On the eye. And I want to make sure I get the entire back. Covered. There's going to be some orange highlights on the bottom. Make it look a little more perchified, percherated. I'm going to clean this brush a bit again because I think I missed something. I guess I don't need to leave that open. Another thing, if you're going to be grabbing all your stuff, make sure you get the paint off your fingers, or there'll be a black line exactly that shape and size and coloration. There we go. We got a little bit of that stuff out of there. Now it's starting to spray a little bit better. I'm going to water that down a little bit too. Or maybe it's the paint behaving poorly. We'll mix up our own paint, the black onyx. I find this stuff's a little bit smoother if you get it mixed perfectly, except when you see a big clump go bleh. That's likely not going to be smooth, but we'll find out. You know what they say, Uncle John used to say it, God hates a coward. Let her go, see what happens. Worst thing that can happen is you ruin it. Done that before. Gotta give her a spritz before you. Oh, there was a chunk. I get this guy over here. I'll try this. See if I can do this way. Aye, mother. Something down there bit me. Yeah, this black's behaving a lot better. Gotta cut this down just a little bit. Had some bumps at the bottom. They weren't going down to that nice point that I like, so I had to scale her way back. Oh, we finally get more people showing up. So, all right. Same question I asked before that nobody answered. How far away are you guys? I'm in North Bay, Ontario. Well, just outside of North Bay, Ontario. Who's the farthest person from me? Let her fly. Throw it in the comment. Nobody. Everybody's from nowhere. I see. I've been there before. Nowhere. Nowhere special. Nowhere to be seen. Nowhere. I'll take those. Those will all be sellable baits next weekend. Well, if all you guys who aren't talking, guys and gals and children of all ages, aren't talking, happen to be in the North Bay area next weekend, check the North Bay Fishing Club Facebook page and find where the sale is. It's a mission. It's like a scavenger hunt. Come find us. Okay. What's in here? Nothing. That's not going to help. I want a different orange. I don't want that orange, though. I need an orange. Where is it? That's, oh, there's some orange back here. I want a brighter orange than the orange I got there. Pure orange, neon orange. Chasing that neon orange. Let's see what this does. Ooh. I haven't used it in forever. I thought it was going to be harder than the back of my head. Now I got to find a little bit of a fin stencil. Got some big ones. Need a small fin. Oh, no, that's for frogs. I just kind of cut stencils and just kind of scatter them around. We may have to make one. Oh, let's do it. Make a stencil. A little chunk of tape right there. And draw a fin that fits these guys. Now a knife. That thing's dull. Let's try this one. I'm going to cut the stencil. This is going to be a simple little fin. Nothing too cute. I shouldn't have done that yet because I have to flip it over and cut both sides. But I am not doing so smart in the brain department. I guess my lion's mane mushroom stuff hasn't kicked in yet. I think I can salvage this whole. Oh God, yes, salvaged. Salvage the whole procedure. But I gotta get that off of there. There, we got it. Fire that back into purgatory. Flip the little thing out of there. Got a little point on that I need to get off. Looks stupid with that little thing in the corner. There it goes. All right. Apologize for not being prepared. Try this orange out again. Some of that. A little bit of this. A little bit of alchemy going on here. Usually later in the day it's alcoholomy going on, but we're going to go with alchemy. That's way too thick. Get that sucker thinned out a touch. That's getting closer, but still just a you know, just a hair. I'll tell you what kind of hair, but it's a hair. too thick. That's not too bad. Yes, right back at you. Back at you, bro. I'm just spitting and sputtering. There we go. Orange is coming out of the gun. Just a good sign. Now, I gotta lay this little stencil I made in exactly the right spot for a fin. I'll hit everything that gets the left side first, because I have to dry this sucker off after, because what I usually do is I just flip it the other way, and then you got a big orange circle around where the fin is supposed to be. So, not my first rodeo. Although it may seem that way, may look that way. I've screwed up plenty of baits before. And there's a good spot for that one. There, move that guy over there. And then my little, probably keeping this guy, little Zara Spook. That fin is way too big for him. So in order to make that fin smaller, I'm going to dry it off a little bit. And I'm going to put my thumb over it, shorten it up. But I'm not left-handed, so I'll have to try some yoga here. Get that guy out of the way and we can see this magic I'm about to try and pull off. Little short thumb. Dry that off again because I'm going to do the old flipperoo. You don't dry it off, you got all kinds of hell and problems going on. Where did I put that? Heard about that stripe. Right about the stripe. I don't have a whole lot of space here. My wife keeps me locked in the corner. She likes to lock baby in the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner. How many old friends remember that movie? Okay. Down there. Bit of orange on the fin. More orange fin. We're getting closer to done these baits. I usually like doing 4 or 5 the same pattern, color / flavor. Got nervous there. I felt my finger sticking to something. Oh yeah, so we got our fins and stripes and all that stuff. Now I just want a little bit of orange on the tail and the throat. I'm going to open this up a little bit. A bit on the throat, a little bit on the tail. And we got a little bit on the throat, a little bit on the tail. I'll have to go back and hit it with some black after to outline the fins. So I want to get all the orange out of the brush as it's starting to plug up a little bit. Oh, not good. A little bit of spatter come off the needle of the airbrush. So I think that's it for orange. Actually, this is the first time this neon orange has actually behaved for me. Usually it just doesn't. I'm not even going to put it up on the shelf. I'll probably use it again. Wants to behave and be my friend again. It's nice. Awful nice. Fella can never have too many friends. We'll get this on there. Time to clean up in the bubbler. The water in that bucket is getting dark. Okay, we're going to go back to the black that I had earlier. It's not going to take much. I hope it's not going to take much, because I don't have very much. Put a little bit of this in there too. Not much in there either. I did put water in that, so it should be. That should be lots. I'll test it on something. That's water. Oh, that's paint. Perfect. How's my orange coming along? Now, as I do the outline of my fins, I want to make sure that the paint is 100% dry where I did the fins. That guy there is still a little damp, so we'll leave him till last. Oh, this way. Oh, that's still a little moisture as well. Now this here is just going to give a little bit of an outline to where the fin is. Not a lot, just enough to separate it so it just doesn't look like it's just strictly orange. So it's more of just a little highlight. I think that's dry enough. Waited just the right amount of time for that sucker too. Now when I'm doing this, I actually pull the stencil a little bit past where I previously painted. That way my line is just outside of the fin. I'm not doing that guy. But we will do these ones. And then I do have a secret weapon I use on all of my perch baits, and all of my local guys love it. So I'm going to be giving away one of my trade secrets here in about 5 minutes. So I would not go too far if you want to find a trade secret from me. Something I do with my perch patterns that I've never seen anybody else do. Not saying they don't, but I do. So a little bit of just a black tip around the fin just gives it a little something. That quietens the orange down a little bit too. That's it. That's it for the airbrush. Now, I promised you guys a secret weapon. I had to clean up really good when I'm done here. Okay, I do have a secret weapon kicking right there. So, this is it. This is my secret weapon. It's called Dragonfly Glaze. And what it does is it puts a little shimmer onto the perch pattern. And what you get out of that is the black almost turns purple. So it kind of does like a color shift, same as the pearl white does on the bottom. Kind of gives it different colored hues. And first time I did it, I wasn't sure what to think. And then everybody that's seen it, oh, here's some dry stuff. Kind of, I don't know if you can see the holographic-y. Kind of looks fluorescent there, but it's not fluorescent. It's takes a little bit to dry. Not a little bit, like 10 minutes or whatever. Not as quick as the paint, the regular paint, but I've never been able to get this to fly through the airbrush. So I'm gonna try and keep it off of it looks terrible while it's wet. Once it dries though, I think it looks fantastic. So I won't put it on the fins. Now, it doesn't look like anything special yet. It's probably not going to be much special when I'm done either, but what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? Try your best and see what happens. Your best ain't good enough, the world will let you know. But they don't have to like it anyways. If they don't like it, trample off somewhere else, right? Attaboy. Yeah, that one's pretty nice. Pretty nice right there. Now, there's little lines and stuff of the purpley dragonfly glaze. But oh Jesus, it's close, near disaster. Almost had a crash. Near disaster. I'm a disaster. Always put the eyeballs on after the glaze. If not, the dragonfly glaze leaves a haze over the eyes. Not that that wouldn't be kind of interesting, but what it does is takes away the appearance of the eye. Make it look a little bit like a zombie fish. Somebody's looking for a zombie fish. World War Z fish. Now, one more guy. That doesn't look like it's even in the eye socket. Maybe it's not. There. Looks like it now. Oop. Stuck to my thumb. Oh, dropped it just outside the eye socket. Gently push her back in. There. So we got the little red eyes on the perch. Got the fins done. Now, what I can do, we can check on the, let's check on the turning stuff, see how it's coming along. So things are spinning. And this guy here's got a few little bald spots on him. I'll have to get that with the second coat. And everything else seems to be behaving not too bad. Ooh, except my little phone holder thing. See if I can get that back kind of where it was. Yeah. So what I'll do, I'm going to tear off all the little green tapes off this. I'll show you what's underneath. That sticks to fingers really good. So this will be the bait right there. 3 trebles, a nice, perfect banded style lip on it. I think that's what it is, a banded knockoff. Which means it was probably made at the same factory as the Bandit. These ones swim pretty good. Lately, a lot of people have been wanting baits that dive to like 35, 40 feet. I'm like, man, your regular crankbaits don't dive 35, 40 feet. Unless you're using like a dipsy diver or something to get it down there. That's not what people want to hear, though. They want to hear, oh, absolutely, check this one out. This one goes to 32.5 feet. So, and it'll do it at 4 kilometers an hour. It'll do it at 8 kilometers an hour. It goes exactly where you want it to. So maybe I should start doing that. Be like the condescending bait guy. Oh, absolutely. This bait is magic. It will do everything you need it to. If you leave it alone in the kitchen, it'll make you a sandwich before you go out. It is awesome. I have a hard enough time selling these. There's no sense turning clients away, I guess. Yeah, well, I don't care if I sell any of them. How's that for a little pout? Huh? A little pout? I don't care. That guy doesn't have a lip, so get that son of a brute off too. Sticks to the fingers real good. So, come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. Okay. So these here are all completed with the exception of my signature, which I do after. That stuff hardened right up. Okay. I don't know what to do next. I think I'm probably going to take a break next. I have some work I have to do around the house. So for everybody that tagged along this far, thanks for hanging out. I might come back on tonight. So 7 o'clock North Bay time, 7:30 North Bay time ish. Anybody wants to come and see what I'm up to later. All right. Thanks for watching. Hope you subscribed and all that fun stuff too, guys. I appreciate it. Till next time, Dave is out.